What's up, folks? Illinois loses just like we predicted.
Yep. I think my score had to be pretty close, right? I think both. Well, my score might.
It was right in the middle. I had 73-62 Marquette, and you had 74-69 Marquette. So
it's not bad.
I was closer with both of them.
Great. Wasn't sure how many points would be scored in this game with the way it started. Kind of a slog early. This is also a game where it's not going to hurt you, down the stretch. I don't know why you didn't. Why didn't you put Marquette's ranking up there? That feels a little disrespectful.
Who cares?
Not the only person in the Illini world to disrespect somebody tonight or something.
Yeah, Marquette's a really good team. They have a really good point guard.
Some people may call me, a numbers guy and a hero in that regard, and I'll accept that responsibility. I have the box score here. I have a red pen. I'm going to look at all the numbers, and we're going to talk about what numbers are bad, and that is on both ends, okay? Let's just start on the offensive end. Okay. Coleman Hawkins taking 5 threes and going 2 for 9 from the field. 2 for 9, 1 for 5 with only 5 points. That feels like a problem.
With a chance to hit a big one with time running out.
Who was next to him? Was that Damask or Goody? I wasn't even looking.
I don't remember.
I think you just got to shovel that pass off.
I don't think you do. I don't think you do. I think he takes that shot. Underwood probably wants him to take that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not going to second guess it, but still, like a guy that doesn't have any arc on his shot shooting from the corner is never going to work. I would think.
I mean, 1 for 5. How many turnovers did he have?
5 turnovers for him. So we'll circle that, and we'll circle 5 for Shannon. Their best guys weren't good enough tonight. Shannon had 21 points, but guess what? He was 6 of 16 from the field. 3 for 8 from 3, I guess, is fine. He took a couple of tough ones, but 3 for 8, I guess you could live with. I'm not going to complain about the 3-point shooting because they got 10 threes between Goody, Damask, and Shannon, which I think that'll work in a lot of games.
That. Sure.
I think looking at the box score, the most humorous stat line of the night had to go to Quincy Guerrier, who played 21 minutes, had 0 points and 10 rebounds, including 3 on the offensive end. He was 0 for 3 from the field, had 2 good looks from 3, couldn't make them, both in the corner. Yeah. Another number that you look at here, I think this is not a great number for them, but I don't think it's as bad as people think. 33 threes taken. If you look at the way Marquette was defending them in the first half, they were trapping them and kind of keeping them in that area, and this is a team with a lot of new pieces. You're going to be taking a lot of threes, so I don't think anybody can complain about the number of threes they took tonight.
Yeah, I'm not upset. You know me, I'm not a big Illinois don't take threes team, but that's what Marquette forced them into. I mean, they couldn't get the ball inside. They couldn't penetrate because Marquette doubled every time. So what happens when teams double? There's a open corner 3. So I mean, you take the shots you can get. You hope that the guys that can make them are taking them.
They missed 13 threes in the first half. I would say 5 of those were good corner looks, at least. Yeah. At least 2 of those from Gary, and Damask had a couple as well.
Jay says, brutal, that's a game you got to win.
That feels a little strong. I don't like losing, and you're at home.
I agree.
But
Marquette's a top 5 team. They're a legit top 5.
When you have
I know it's early and rankings don't mean anything, but
Marquette, when you have 2 guards as good as Marquette does, that is really hard to stop in college, especially when they have an actual rim protector.
Because even when they didn't get good shots, they were making the tough shots, which Illinois wasn't doing. Like, I mean, Damask had some tough shots. Shannon had some tough shots. Coleman took some crazy 15-foot fadeaways early in the game.
Marquette seventh in efficiency in the offensive end last year, 5th this year. That's how you do it. You got to make tough shots.
And Illinois, the way they defended the pick and roll and defended Kolek, it wasn't working, and they never really changed it up. I actually thought, and I text you this, that I thought Dane played the pick and roll with Kolek better than anybody else did. He got a block early in the game, and then Brad Underwood forgot that Dane Danjo was on the team for about 42 minutes. And then he brought him back in, and he had 2 really good defensive plays against the pick and roll. So I don't know what was with, like, I know Dane had one bad offensive possession, and then it was like, you're sitting on the bench, I'm screaming at you.
One.
Have fun. I only saw one.
I just hate how he has no clue what to do with the basketball when there's not just an open lane waiting for him to just score.
Yeah.
Any good,
and
competent...
Marquette doesn't allow any open lanes.
Right.
And that's the thing, like Marquette you can tell a team that like scouts well and plays their scouting report compared to Illinois. Like Marquette plays the scouting report so well, and they did that so good against Illinois. And Illinois still had a chance in this game, so that's got to make you feel good.
Points in the paint, 44-20, Marquette.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to find some other numbers here. Start time of the game, 1 a.m. It says. So
that sounds right.
Doesn't make any sense.
I mean, Illinois took 6 more threes than twos, so I understand why
they were not themselves from 2 tonight. 10 for 27. That is not what they are from 2. They are a lot better team.
Well, none of them were really clean. Like they didn't have clean looks. The only clean looks they had were from 3 in this game.
Any team that scouts Illinois and plays against them should just try to take away the inside the arc. That's all you got to do. Yeah. Make them beat you from 3. More often than not, they're probably not going to do it.
Jay says Hawkins is still Hawkins. Dude will never get it. Him, Shannon, 10 turnovers. How many layups did Shannon miss? Shannon he's still out of control. Like the thing is, like, I don't feel like Shannon or Coleman are any better than they were last year. And that's a big problem. Like you have 2 guys that were testing NBA waters. They come back and there is no improvement over the guy. They look exactly the same as they did.
Did we expect Shannon to be that much better? He's pretty much been the same player for the last 3 or 4
Yeah, I mean, he did Underwood talked about his mid-range game. So if that was better, like he's hit a couple, I think he's taken 3 or 4 mid-range shots.
I don't think his mid-range game was that bad last season. I'd have to look at the numbers, but
he never takes mid-range shots. So it'd be kind of hard to look at the numbers. I think
his entire career, he's a good perimeter defender, good to great, depending on the matchup. He's a streaky shooter. He can have some pretty sick dunks. Props to him for not missing that dunk. You saw Marquette miss like 4 dunks. And then he is out of control and can't really go to his right. That's what he's been dating back to Texas Tech. And also, let's throw this out there. Speaking of Dane Danger, that goaltending was so unbelievably unnecessary. There was 4 or 5 plays down the stretch where there was absolutely zero situational awareness. Yep. Number 1, Coleman jogging down the floor.
Coleman and Guerrier both jogging down the floor on that was number 2. That was the game changer, in my opinion.
Number 2, Ty Rodgers take the basket. He didn't even look at the hoop.
Yeah.
What were they down 6?
They're down 6. It would have been within 2 after Shannon made his free throws. If he would have just taken that.
Speaking of free throws, how about this? 8 for 8 in the second half, 11 for 13 from the free throw line. Don't look now, folks. This team might be good from the free throw line.
Shannon had 6 of those in the second half?
Yeah, Shannon 6 for 6, Damask 3 for 3. Okay. Harmon and Goody both missed one. So it probably helps that Dane and Coleman and Ty didn't take any free throws. But 84.6 in the free throw line, you're not going to see that very often from this team.
All right, you were on number 3. Sorry, I got you off track. Go ahead.
Yeah, number 3. I might have forgotten it. Did I? What was my number?
I think you did 3.
Number 3. Well, number 3 was Dane goaltending.
Okay.
So that wasn't good.
Okay.
Number 4.
Terrence Shannon chucking it out of bounds on the
Terrence Shannon awful throw to the corner. I mean, Iowa and Creighton do not play defense. Yeah, I think this one big thing you could see with these 2 teams, I think, is some of the continuity stuff. Like this Marquette team knows how to finish together. Illinois hasn't really done that yet. Like when was the last time Illinois had to close out? Like the Kansas game, they had to close out, but that wasn't a real game. I think you play a lot more free in those spots. They didn't play loose enough tonight, I think.
Yeah.
But it's a new team.
Larry says this team will be fair this year. They may win many Big Ten games, but without a true point guard and 3 players who wanted to be in the pros and couldn't get a shot, I wouldn't expect too much. I mean, again, they lost to Marquette. I know they're at home, but you can't tell me that crowd was an advantage. because they were sitting on their hands for half that damn game.
I'm not even going to go there.
Take the bunnies, stop the threes.
I'm so sick of people complaining about taking too many threes. Like, obviously in that play, yes. But defenses are
I think he
coaches who scout are going to make Illinois shoot threes. And Illinois has a couple of exciting whites who can make threes. Damask and Goody were great tonight. Jay
said Bonehead plays down the stretch. Marquette's best player goes out, yet they go on an 8-0 run.
Who's their best player?
I'm guessing when Kolek went to the bench, they went on an 8-0
run. I think there should be concern about.
They are with as old as this team is. There's too many mistakes, right?
It's a lot easier to be old and play together for multiple years, which is why Shannon and Hawkins should be maybe a little better together than they've been.
Yeah, and like there were times where Illinois was moving the ball and they were getting Marquette off their defense and they're trapping and they're doubling everything, and then Coleman would get the ball and stand there with it at times. And it's like he just let the defense reset. So I don't know, man.
I do worry about the no point guard thing in big games or against good teams, because you can tell the difference when an offense like Marquette has a creator like that and a guy that can score. Like Ty Rodgers needs to be better at scoring at the rim.
And you can see what Illinois did. They went to Damask. Yeah. But they went to Damask on the wing to start the offense, but it was kind of like a Damask game. You figure out what you want to do. Illinois had, when they put Dane back in, they had two really good plays. One with Ty Rodgers getting to the rim, where he gave it a little give and go, and then there was another. They had like back to back where they moved through Dane to a cutting tie, and they need more of that. They don't have that when Coleman's in, because Coleman can't get inside. Like the body difference between Oso and Coleman Hawkins is unreal. Like just looking at them next to each other,
I would be very
two different kinds of 6'10" right there.
I would be very surprised if Brad Underwood doesn't mention Coleman's left knee in the post game. Not to say it's an excuse, which he might, but I wouldn't. But something's up. He looks just awful in some of these spots.
Yeah, and then he looks so good in other spots. I mean, he had that one defensive play where most guys probably would have, and it was late in the game. I think he was guarding Kolek, and most guys probably would have went for the shot fake, and Coleman stayed on his feet and ended up blocking the shot. And there's glimpses where you're like, man, he's so good at defense. And there's other times where you're like, man, he just looks like he doesn't give a shit.
It's 20 plus games of that every season.
Yeah.
Illinois, 7 blocks, Marquette 0. So that was good. Out rebounded them 40-38. But like I said, points in the paint when you're minus 24, especially for a team that's supposed to be, or has been the last, almost the entire Underwood era. This has been a pretty good 2-point shooting percentage efficiency team. They were not that tonight. 10 for 27, not going to cut it.
Yeah.
Goody becoming Golke from Oakland, 4 for 7, all threes.
All threes.
Yeah, he took a couple of bad ones too. I think he could have gone like maybe 6 for
7 or 5. He is so much better when his feet are set, because he takes so many off balance threes or fadeaway threes and they're just not good.
Well, he hit a big one, then one to hit another.
Yeah, he hit a big one because Oso wouldn't come out on him, which is insane. Like, did he think Goody was going to drive around him?
Thoughts on Kolek tonight? 24, 6, and 4, 2 steals.
He's good, man. I mean, he's a true point guard, and he finds holes. Like I said, I think Illinois' defense against him was not ideal. Yeah, there's some of those plays that you can't guard it, but there's some where you switching Coleman to him isn't the play. It's not. You got to find something else. So, yeah, but he's really good. It'd be nice to have a point guard like that.
Some of the best teams in the country so far this year are teams that have really good guys running the point, whether it's Purdue, who won by double digits last night, as I said. Doug McDaniel. Doug McDaniel looks like he's taking a huge step for Michigan. He looks really good.
Quick.
Yeah, and the way he shoots off the dribble is like unstoppable. Even though he's like 5'11", he gets it off so quick. But like, yeah, you need a point. The point guard thing is a little frustrating.
Yeah, and Ty had a really good play where he got to the hoop, but it happens once every 100 times down the court.
This offense just looks chaotic again, and I think I didn't expect it to look as chaotic as it has.
Yeah. And I think Marquette's defense is part of that, like especially for a game of this caliber. I think that Marquette's defense is a lot better than.
They're a top 20 defense, but I think they turn into a top 10 defense when they play good teams, because they gave up 70 points to Northern Illinois, I think, to start the season. So I don't know if their defense fully wakes up for every game, but
yeah. Well, and let's say it seemed like they knew how to attack Illinois. And like when this guy got the ball, what you do. When that guy gets the ball, this is what you do. And you saw a little bit of that. Coleman did that a few times when he was playing, post defense against Oso, and then there was another guy that backed him down. What's that other dude's name? Goldie or whatever.
Who? What?
The tall white guy from Marquette. What's his name?
Gold.
That was close.
Damask went 3 for 7. I feel like he could have had a green light tonight.
3 for 7?
Yeah, Damask.
That's it? Wow.
Is that not good? I mean, that's fine.
I thought he made more than that is all.
Well, you're getting the exciting whites mixed up. Could have used Harris on Coleg tonight. Seems a lot of these guards can't guard one-on-one at all. Been a problem for years, says Jay. Okay, let me just address this real quick. Tyler Kolek is an All-American
guy.
Big East Player of the Year last year. He is like super elite. Even if Sincere's guarding him the entire game, he's still going to put up some numbers.
Because Illinois was switching everything. That's the thing. Is like you had Terrence Shannon on him, who played great defense last game. My thing is, why when Kolek got rid of the ball, was Terrence Shannon not guarding him like he was against Golke? Why was he not up in him, making sure he couldn't get the ball back?
Yeah, I think that's probably maybe a coaching thing where they say Kolek can actually get inside and do stuff. Golke
he still did it.
Half-court line. I don't know. What are you going to say?
I don't know. I'm just asking a question.
Jeffrey, did you see the Purdue score last night? Hawkins' NBA career going down the toilet. He's a head case. He's gone backwards. Point guard matters. That's why DGL needs more time. Don't see him getting enough time and play well on a high. That doesn't make okay. DGL, I think it's a lot to ask for him to run point in this game. You saw.
I think it's a lot to ask for a lot of time from him too.
Purdue last season kind of just let their guards go, and it helps when you have an All-American center. But I don't think Illinois is in a spot to just let DGL take over the point. Yeah,
DGL was good in that first game, guys.
Can he guard
Kolek?
Like, he would have probably been the one guarding Kolek.
He didn't. I don't think his defense was bad, but he took a 3 that probably wasn't necessary.
He played.
Did he do anything that stuck out to anybody this game? Where you're like, oh, DGL needs to play more?
He played 7 minutes tonight. If he plays 25 minutes and he's guarding Kolek for a lot of that, I think that's a problem. Over 3 from 3. All 3 shots that he took were threes. He had 1 foul and then nothing else. So it's going to take time. He's not like there's different levels to freshmen. There's guys who are ready to go right away, which is pretty rare. And there's guys that it's going to take time. Like you look at Kentucky tonight, like they have freshmen who are ready to go. But I also think Kansas is a little overrated, but whatever. Zachary Hinkle is here. He says Campbell was disrupted by Sincere in this identical game. Jay is spot on. You can't tell. Yeah, obviously you'd rather have Sincere guarding him, but then again, Kolek is a bit more of a threat, I think, than Campbell was.
Thoughts on Harmon playing so much this game? How many minutes did he play?
16.
Yeah.
Had a good week in practice.
He did. I forgot.
He's another guy who missed a 3. That was a good look.
He crashed the board. How many rebounds?
4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover. 16 minutes. So the minutes breakdown tonight, Shannon 35, Damask 33, Guerrier 21, Rogers 29, Hawkins 30, Goody 19, Harmon 16, DGL 7, Hansberry 6, Dane 4. Felt like Dane played a lot more than 4 minutes, but
that's it. No, he literally played at the beginning.
Yeah, and then
he got sat. I thought he was hurt, honestly.
Samford. Okay, yeah, Samford. I hope Samford makes the NCAA tournament. Wesley. It's one phrase, one word. Can't believe the tie passed up that layup at the end. I get the extra pass, but you got to take the 2 there.
You have to. Wide open. It's a 2-point game. Like after Terrence Shannon makes his free throws.
Has Hawkins ever had an NBA career? Good luck in Europe.
Yeah, I think
Hawkins is more like a good luck in the G League guy.
Yeah, he could make something happen.
Kind of like Luka Garza. Like Garza came in for the Pistons a couple years ago and looked kind of good, but he's just like a G League guy. Jeffrey Ott says Shannon played out of control at times. He's got to keep his feet under him. Yeah, he's in
place like that all the time.
He's in year 5. This isn't going to change.
He's been playing like that forever.
DGL transfer portal. I mean,
I don't think that's it.
Not yet. We're not.
He loves the team.
Damask cemented the second best player on this team. No debate. Yeah, I feel like that's fair. I mean, he's a guy. He's one of the only guys that can score at all 3 levels on this team. It's him and Shannon, right? That's it.
Yeah.
Maybe DGL once he eventually develops a little more. But yeah, I think we saw Damask tonight. We're going to see more of this from Damask. Who do they play next? Is it Sunday against Southern?
You want to watch Brad Underwood?
I feel like we would get taken off the offline for that.
For showing another thing that's on YouTube right now?
I could see it. Yeah, I could see it.
That's insane. All right.
Friday against Valpo. By the way,
let you guys know.
2 games in 3 days. How about we just have somebody get quotes for us? 2 games in 3 days coming up. They got Valpo on Friday and Southern on Saturday. I guess we committed to doing a watch party for both of these, which feels like a bit of a mistake, no? I don't know. Maybe it is. That's another 7 o'clock game. God, that sucks. I'm Big Ten Plus. Brutal.
You can't stop me, guys. You can't stop me.
You know, we've got Terrence Shannon ramming his head downhill.
Can you hear it?
And we got to learn to trust that. We had Marcus.
Maybe this is the year the Illini.
It can't be just him.
I feel like this has happened in more years, though. I feel like I think actually you could argue in the 4 years that Underwood's been here, the 4 years that they've been good, I should say, 2 of those 4 years, they did improve throughout the season and win it at the end of the year. Like 2021, that's how they got a 1 seed. 2020, they were starting to peak towards the end of the year. So, I don't know. I think last year is probably the year where that didn't happen. And 2022, I think, was a little shaky. But Valpo won't be easy, says Eddie.
Illinois by 25.
Yeah, Valpo is a really bad team, guys. Valpo has the 6th worst offensive efficiency in the country. If they score more than 50, this team might be doomed.
Never played well in the tourney is a better wording. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, Big Ten tournament has been a lot of missing other than the 1 year.
I mean,
but
a Curbelo
they never
boy.
I thought they played pretty well against Houston in 2022. Like Houston was just better.
Loyola they sucked against Chattanooga.
Yeah, but they played well against
They
Houston.
were lucky to get past Chattanooga.
Hey, is anybody going to talk about
lose by like 12?
They dusted Drexel. How about that? Dusted them. Let me check that Houston, Illinois score. I'm curious. I feel like the RJ technical kind of just ended that game. They lost by 15. Not bad at all.
I feel like they played well in that game.
They were in it though with like 8 minutes to go.
They were in it until the tee.
Yeah,
I think they were within 5.
By the way,
and you got teed up there.
Can we do one of these? Slap a technical on Kolek. I mean, the guy's taunting like crazy.
He did. He
I
was in
tweeted that
Shannon's
sarcastic.
face after that 3 too.
I-
Did Marquette get I don't Illinois out rebounded them, but it seemed like every ball that got bounced around on Marquette's end, they ended up making a 3 or getting an easy layup. It was just kind of one of those games where Illinois didn't get anything. On the bright side, we kept it close for the most part, despite the bad play. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, they lost by 7. They didn't play well. And a lot of that is because they were playing top 5 Marquette. Top 5 guys.
Marquette didn't get anything from Stevie Mitchell or David Joplin. That's 2 starters that were a combined 3 for 13 from the field. I thought Illinois defended some of those guys.
Guerrier shut.
Guerrier was great for not scoring and only playing 21 minutes.
Yeah.
He was very effective as a glue guy, which I know that we can't identify glue guys. We have no eye for talent, stuff like that. But I thought Guerrier did that very well tonight.
We're not professionals because we didn't play D1 basketball.
Oh, whatever.
Zach says there's still no offensive scheme. 2 years removed from Io and Kofi, better players in a motion offense capable of cutting, but this is not a team capable of scoring 80 points in the Power 5 game. The problem, I feel like this team does cut. It's just that they don't know how to make passes to the cutters. Feels like every pass they make gets disrupted somehow.
They're so hesitant with the basketball, especially Hawkins.
Well, that's why you love when they showed Shaka in the huddle. He's like, keep flowing on this thing, keep flowing, and that's it. Illinois has no flow.
Hawkins wants to make the pretty pass rather than the right pass, I would say, in a lot of spots.
Do you think Houston can beat Samford though?
He's saying this just to get me mad. So I won't even talk about it.
Wesley says, I feel like Shannon got about 2 foul calls driving to the rim when he should have had 6 or 7. Also didn't finish his layups like normal either.
This was a classic ranked on ranked basketball game in college basketball where I think for the first 30 to 35 minutes, they let them play quite a bit.
They did.
And then the ref show started. There was a couple calls that could have gone either way.
Because there weren't very many fouls until under 4 minutes or very many free throws.
Overall, Illinois had 15 fouls. Marquette had 14. Marquette took 20 free throws. Low. Illinois took 13. I think we need to stop the whole Illinois is the only team in D1 basketball at home that doesn't get calls. I think that is insane.
Jason BS calls the tie play at the end. No foul on Damask. I don't think Damask got fouled on that. I watched the replay. I don't think he got fouled on that. Non-travel call on Kolick. I do think Kolick. It's Kolick with a K.
Did his third?
So he caught it. He took his 2 steps and then he reshuffled his left foot. It looked like.
This is a good one here. Ty's offensive foul. You texted me. That ref was waiting to make that call.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I rewound that 3 times, and he was set. Ty handed that ball off, and he set. And they the ref was ready to make that call.
Notable that Quincy Guerrier took the tip tonight.
Notable is, will Illinois win a tip this year?
They will win their tip Friday.
Okay.
I can't wait for this team to beat Valpo by 30 and then come out slow as hell and only beat Southern by 8. Stupid. That's what's going to happen. I do think Illinois would benefit from trying Quincy at the 5 against some of these teams. It's kind of hard when you have a guy that Iguodaro who's old and big. But I do think Guerrier at the 5 would be pretty beneficial in a lot of spots. But also this team just doesn't have anybody that's going to post up and score on you. If it's not Dane, which it's usually not Dane. So who the hell is going to do that? Coleman doesn't do it. Coleman thinks he's Nikola Jokic.
I thought it was interesting that Brad was so mad at Dane Danger that I remembered Amani Hansberry was on the team too.
Amani Hansberry is not ready, but he's
not. But he tries, man. He tries.
Offensively, he's not even close.
Really hard.
Offensively, he should just be a screen setter and a rebounder.
Yeah.
Don't even try to shoot.
Yep.
And Coleman's shot went from this
to
this again.
Yeah, he's right back where he was from.
I mean, he had I think it might have been the first 3 he took out of 5 that was just not even close. And I also think this team has no situational awareness issues are a problem. for a team that has this many veterans. Like, there are spots where they make the wrong pass. They don't know how much time is left in the shot clock. I think Coleman took that terrible shot with like 6 seconds left in the shot clock.
Yeah.
Could have done something else. Not finishing at the rim when you're wide open. Ty Rodgers, thank you. Ty is, the youngest player in the rotation pretty much.
I loved how the announcers were like, they got to stop shooting threes. And then they're like, their last 6 points were in the paint. One was when Coleman somehow batted that ball off the backboard in. The next one was a 3-on-1 breakaway. And it's like, yeah, they're really punching it in the lane.
Yeah, I thought I thought before we address this comment, Benetti made a good reference. I can't remember what it was. Somebody's got to help me with that. There was a good reference in there somewhere. I just don't. It's in there. I just can't remember.
There was 40 minutes of basketball, and you want us
made a good reference.
One reference. Dane was rough tonight. Had one good block on Kolek, but other than that, not too much. He actually had 3 good defensive plays on Kolek in 4 minutes, mind you.
It's hard to judge Dane tonight.
Goaltending was bad.
4 minutes.
Yeah. The offense wasn't great. Yeah. I mean, but I thought defensively, Kolek was so shocked because what's Illinois do? They always slag off the pick and roll. Kolek was so shocked that Dane Danger was there when he got that block. He's like, whoa, bro, that's not what you're supposed to do. That's what Kolek was going through Kolek's mind. He's like, this isn't Illinois' defense. He just messed up. Ethan, when you get a few, what are the metrics on Stetson?
Stetson, I would say not a good defensive team, more so offensive. I think they're probably a mid-200s team.
Plays next?
No, maybe. I don't know. I think they're more of like a mid-200s team. I think they lost to Houston by like 30 or 31 this year, but they aren't very good defensively.
Hankel says, can't believe we were still in this game with QG and Coleman's stat line. That's the thing. It's like, I mean, Illinois had an opportunity to win this, and they didn't. And, the guys that you need to play well didn't play well.
Yeah,
so
Quincy,
I'm not even, mad about it. I'm disappointed. It's one of those things. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. It's like talking to your kids.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about,
How about the fact that Kolek played 37?
Parents have been like that a lot to you, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. 37 minutes for Kolek tonight. I don't think his ankle is as bad as
his ankle wasn't. That ankle did not hurt at all. That was that.
It's probably pretty heavily taped up.
Whatever. I text you. I said he's moving like a ballerina out there. That guy.
There are rolled ankles that feel bad in the moment, but then they're perfectly fine the next game. And hey, if it's gamesmanship, then props to them.
And he's got 6 days off, so why not just go out and do it?
I mean, 37 minutes, that was a shit ton. It didn't feel like he even played that many either. Nobody on Illinois played that much. The most was.
I think he sat a minute and a half in the first half and a minute and a half in the second half.
You just can't allow a 10 for 18 from anybody. It's pretty good in college basketball. You can't have it. Plus, they had a couple young guys come off the bench and make big threes. Sean Jones making that 3. I stretched it to 6 or 8.
Yeah. Eddie says, I hate losing, but I don't mind this game as long as we learn from it. Yeah. Gotta learn. You have to get more out of Coleman Hawkins. I mean, that's.
Can we just put this out there? This team better beat Florida Atlantic.
Wes says one of the Illini. Well, I don't even know what that said. Illini. Who's that?
Yeah, never.
Said they could see his ankle was purple above the tape. Not sure about that. I'm sure it was taped up, and I'm sure
there are other sources confirming that as well. So,
I mean, so his calf was hurt. He got punched in the calf. How high was the tape?
What's the next comment?
How high was the tape? That's what I want to know. Your boy Jeffrey says they played horrible and keep the Houston game close till the end. I don't see how Houston is ranked 6th. That was my point.
Are you talking about Houston and Stetson?
He must be. Soft tangent here. Hey Jeff, you need to come by the other show.
Houston was up 27 after 30 minutes and then won by 31. I don't get what we're talking about here. ESPN to show the highlights. Find true point guard. You can't find a true point guard now when you don't have one. Maybe next.
I don't even know if they necessarily need a true point guard though.
You know what they need to do? They need to develop a point guard.
Moretti's been sitting on the bench.
That might be the guy.
He's
next season. I mean, Kolek is a guy who, when they played Marquette a couple of years ago, you saw flashes. He wasn't what he is now, but you saw something there. And he's now in his third year there. He transferred from George Mason. He also fouled Trent Frazier on that last play a couple of years ago. But
half-court offense or small front court, a bigger risk to this team's ceiling.
Half-court offense against a good team. That's a problem. You could talk ball in general all you want. I just don't get the Stetson point when they got murdered. I don't understand. You can't say they kept it close when they were down 27.
We staying on this a little longer? What are we doing? We staying on this for a little bit?
Yeah, give another 10 or so. But you could join during the mid-season. We'll probably do a mid-season college hoop show in January, and then from mid-February to the national championship, we'll be doing weekly college hoop shows discussing the action around the country. Trying to put the Kentucky-Kansas game on the TV here. Any other thoughts? Throw all your thoughts out there. It doesn't have to be basketball related. Who cares? Just say something. Thoughts on, let's see. I don't know. So this team has, let's see. They have Valpo, Southern, Western Illinois, Rutgers, FAU, Tennessee, Colgate, Missouri, Fairleigh Dickinson before they go fully into Big Ten play. I would say 3 wins in a row. I think they will beat Rutgers on the road this time, so I can see maybe 4, and then we'll see after that. But I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Get to 6-1, that'd be good. Coleman was so bad, his decision-making in basketball IQ is worthless. I've seen no improvement versus last year. He's actually regressed. I think it's a little early to jump fully into those conclusions, but there's definitely concerns with how he's played in the first 3 games. I think there's got to be an injury there. Hold on.
Are you frozen? Wait, printing something on your typewriter?
Got a text from a friend who got some pictures with the players after the game. Merez Johnson was there. He's tall as shit. I think it's too early to say he's fully you can't. The improvement thing I think is something to revisit after the Tennessee game probably. But it's only been 3 games, and like I said, I think there's got to be an injury there, right? I mean, there's got to be.
I don't know, but I agree with the regression.
But we can't fully say that that's a thing.
Hey, by the way, fans, everybody,
he's got a left knee pad, which he doesn't normally wear.
Everybody that's here, I know that Ethan gives you guys a lot of shit for being negative. Okay? I just want you to know this is what Ethan sent me at 7:32. So we're
dead.
We're 28 minutes into the game. You guys ready for this? He sends change the personnel, change the coach, change everything. The free throw and 3-point shooting issues are never going away.
They missed 2 early free throws. That's why I said that. They obviously saw that and they fixed it. And
he also said rip Coleman's 3-point arch. This is the next text I get.
The in-game frustration.
Also, he's just going through the effing motions out there. He looks like an effing freshman.
Am I wrong? It's in the moment.
So just so you know, when he gives you guys shit all the time, he feels the same way.
There's a difference between in the moment during the game thoughts and post game thoughts. No BS. You got to find some sort of middle ground though when people just shit all over him all the time. But tonight was brutal. Anybody thinks he didn't look like a fucking freshman out there? He looked like a freshman. Creighton, Iowa, those teams don't play any defense. Yeah. That's why that was
is it 50-50 at half of that game?
It's
got to be close. I think it was like 46 something.
Yeah, it's let me see. Hold on. 43-43. And also, how about Kentucky? Kentucky tonight against Kansas. Kentucky has 58 points with 15:40 to go. They're up 11. But those are the two most watchable games of tonight. Yeah, those are the two most watchable games of the night. Creighton, Iowa.
Yikes.
Michigan State, Duke is not very watchable, but these two later ones are. Jay says thoughts on Harmon so far. Would like to see Gibbs get more tick over him. Must like Harmon's defense better. I think Harmon is a guy that's going to need to adjust to this level coming from Utah Valley. The good thing about him is that he played really well against some of the better opponents they had last season.
Yeah. The thing is, like, I know Harmon was really good in the NIT, but he also played on a team where he could just do whatever he wanted, right? Yeah. You can't do that at Illinois. You can't just get the ball, throw it up, get a screen, shoot a step back three. He's not Matthew Meyer. They're not going to let him do that. I don't know what his role is on this team right now. And I do feel like DGL and him are probably pretty interchangeable right now, except that Harmon pounds the glass. He goes after every ball that goes up. Like, that's the only advantage he gives you right now.
It did look like something's wrong with his left knee. His left knee doesn't throw the ball away. That's a good point. But
his left knee doesn't throw the ball away. I love that.
I would bet right now that he's out next game.
You think?
Yep. Needs a reset. Needs to sit a game. Every time they call timeout, he's complaining as he walks to the bench.
Really?
It's kind of weird. I just noticed that. Right? Things you notice when you're actually paying attention.
Apparently, Brad started yelling at him. He turned around, walked away too. So,
Brad, can't be letting your guys walk all over you. You gotta, rein it in. See, Hinkle thinks I wasn't wrong. That's how you react in game. But I still think we can't just pretend that, I think we're almost to the level where people are going to say Coleman is unplayable, which I don't think we can go there yet. But there are spots where he's been unplayable. Are they telling him that?
I agree.
Like, there was the play where Iguodaro had the shoulder injury, and he just stood there, and Coleman wouldn't help off him because he was so afraid. Illinois seems very scared of getting beat over the top on lobs or passes as like driving kicks or pick and roll stuff. They look very hesitant to defend those, not as aggressive as maybe they should be, especially when they have guys who could fly at the rim.
They don't. Illinois doesn't seem to be playing much like anticipating defense.
All right.
It's more reactionary.
Yep.
So, that seems to be a problem.
I feel like we're seeing too much of put Sincere on Kolek tonight. Like, it's,
Yeah, I don't think Sincere on Kolek changes much, guys. I really don't.
Sincere is like, what's the difference between, I don't know, Sincere is a lot quicker than what they would have had on him, I think. And a little bit more matching the size.
Do you not switch if you have Sincere in there?
Yeah,
that's the thing is they switched everything.
I think it's easy to say put Sincere on him and see what happens, but I think it's a little more difficult than that. Harmon won't play more than 10 minutes. I think Harmon's going to be a guy that you're going to see some games where he plays a lot and some games where he doesn't play at all. I think there's multiple guys on this team that do that. Hansberry and Dane are kind of the same. Hansberry and Dane are pretty much the same as DGL and Harmon. So
yeah.
Those four guys,
I think they're interchange. You see what you can get out of each of them, and the ones that are
the only guy. The only guy off the bench that's going to get double-digit minutes every game is Luke Goody. So
there was a reason why, and maybe we'll find out in the post game why he played Harmon more than he played.
He had good practice.
Other guys. Oh yeah, that's what he said.
And rebounding. How about that?
Dane also had his 2 best back-to-back practices all year, and he played 4 minutes. So
made big plays though. This team
three really good defensive plays.
Doesn't really have anyone outside of TSJ that can take someone off the dribbles. No one else really has that burst. Yeah, I think Damask has some of it. I think he can take somebody off the dribble.
Damask is more of a back a guy down. Type player.
Jalen Pickett, yeah.
I just feel like teams know that like all they got to do is reach a hand in on anybody from Illinois, and they're going to take the ball away. Like Illinois doesn't have the handling skills as some of these guys. Like Kolick, he does 360 turns and nobody pokes a hand in there to try to poke a ball out. I don't know.
Kolick reminds me a lot of Steve Nash, which makes me want to like him. But I also tweeted.
I don't hate him. He looks like he's got a 600 GPA.
I tweeted that he should have gone to Duke.
He does not look like a ball player.
When you play him, I think when you play him, you hate him because I said he perfect unlikable white guy at Duke and is really good. I feel like he would have thrived.
Yeah, maybe but he doesn't have, I don't feel like he has that dirty aspect to him. Like, a lot of those white guys that are good, they play a little bit dirtier.
He tried to murder Trent Frazier on that last play in 2021.
I think he was trying to win the game. If he got a foul call, he got a foul call. Seemed heady.
Why is everybody so negative in this chat? Honestly.
What'd he say?
Marquette had so many better missed looks. This is a 15-point loss. Guess what? They missed them. That's basketball. You don't make every good look. Like
they made a lot of non-good looks too.
Illinois lost by 7.
They made some tough shots.
They were in it all the way against a top 5 team, a team with a lot of experience, team that won the Big East tournament last year and beat UConn to do so. Like, we don't have to be super negative after every loss. I mean, this is obviously you want to win the game. You're at home, but guess what?
They didn't lose to Colgate yet, guys.
Calm down. Yeah, exactly. Let's talk a little home court advantage, which Illinois has absolutely none because Orange Crush fucking sucks, dude. It is terrible. Like, they fall asleep unless Illinois is on a crazy run or unless there's a huge moment.
Illinois goes on a run.
Too many nerds at this fucking school.
Fans are up, cheering, whatever. Marquette scores a bucket, and the crowd, you can hear a pin drop after it.
The announcer said,
how do you stop?
This crowd can go from 0 to 60 really quick. I would have said they can also go from 60 to 0 really quick. So the Orange Crush is useless. They don't do anything. They don't do anything unless everything's going perfectly fine, or if they get some free fucking McNuggets, which isn't even real chicken, by the way.
They got that out of the way early, too.
Yeah, it happened. They had.
I thought they might have been up the rest of the game because they got that super early. I was really excited. I even
props to the guy with the big hat that was running up and down the front row. He tried just all these fucking dweebs with their arms crossed. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Cam Jones had some timely threes that would stop a run or come right after a bucket. Some of those threes were highly contested.
That's what great guards do.
He made contested threes. He made like that shot he made over Dane and drew the foul. There's not a guy on Illinois that can make that basket.
Jay says he misses the early 2000s Orange Crush. Here's another problem. We could talk about this until we are blue in the face. But there's a lot of problems, and it's not just Orange Crush related, why this environment is not as good as it should be. There are a lot of reasons. Like, the structure of this arena on the inside sucks. It is not – look at Mackey Arena. That's a perfect place that is so jam-packed and crowded, and everybody's together. Like, why is there a section behind the Orange Crush between them and the other fans? It is so much less intimidating. I don't know.
Well, there's just – that's the biggest problem is the sweeps and stuff. There's
fucking
just
bullshit.
there's
Honestly.
too much empty space.
It pisses me off because this
Like
could be
this,
a hard place to play.
I think that they could probably fit 20,000 plus into there, but because of the wasted space, they can only fit 15.
People often say like organizations have no leadership, franchises have no leadership, political, areas, they have no leadership, a lack of leadership. The Orange Crush has a lack of leadership. When their leader from last year comes into our DMs crying that we criticize them,
Us.
Yeah.
Did you tell them, hey, bro, we don't even have 500 subscribers on
Why
YouTube.
would anybody, by the way, like and subscribe? Why would anybody care what we think? Are we not allowed to be critical? That's soft as hell. Especially when the Orange Crush has done nothing but underperform.
I don't think you can be critical in 2023.
Because everyone's a bunch of fucking pussies. Let's be honest. This isn't a podcast episode. This is a YouTube. We don't get monetized under. I can say pretty much whatever the fuck I want. So I don't understand why we sit here. I guess the Facebook viewers might not enjoy that language as much. I apologize.
No, don't worry, I didn't share on Facebook tonight.
If you can't handle the word fuck, then this isn't the place for you. Post game, this is not the place for you. I'm sorry. But I just don't understand. There's a layout issue. There's a personnel issue with the Orange Crush. Not a lot of people who are into the game for the full, go. If you want to see a classic Orange Crush performance, and I know this game went really well, and it's easy to just say that. Go look at some of the Wake Forest game in 05. Go look at some of those older games. Go look at even the Indiana game in 13. What happened? Is there too many nerds going to the school now that don't care enough about ball?
I don't know.
People might say I'm a nerd with my glasses, but I'm not a doctor nerd like all these dweebs.
I think it's more your haircut than your glasses.
Really? Okay, give me a break.
Positive. I like Damask a lot. He is a ball player. Thought Ty was actually really good. What was Ty's line tonight?
I have nothing against nerds. I was just saying that because I feel like some of them might not care about ball as much. I'm not a nerd in the sense that all these Illini students are. Yeah, Wake Forest 04-05 season, yeah. Which
3.
That's a very easy one I've seen the game multiple times. Also, I was probably 4, almost 5. Nice try. Yeah, you're
showing my support tonight.
Yeah, great loyalty. You think Leonard Hamilton should be done? Should he retire? It's easy to look at that Wake Forest game and say that, but it was also just different. Like that was a dominant effort all the way through. So,
Can I get Ty's line, please? Thanks.
Yeah. Hold on. 6 points, 3 of 5 shooting, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 2 steals, 2 turnovers, 1 foul.
That's a solid line.
Can't expect much more except maybe a couple more assists.
How many minutes did he play? 30?
29.
Okay. I would have guessed 30. I was way off. Jay said the Wake Forest game crowd was the best performance by the Crush ever. Even the Indiana game with Gordon was great.
Yeah, I feel like the Orange Crush is kind of just doing this now. Falling down.
Well, I think that Brad told them they couldn't be mean anymore, according to the sheet going around on Twitter. Brad said, please don't use the F-bomb. You might get teed up or something.
Fire Brad Underwood? Are we there? Yeah?
I don't think so.
You in? No? Yeah? No? Underwood. Thin ice! Stared right into the camera on that one.
You look like you're 3 years old in that.
Do 3-year-olds look like that? It's news to me.
Well,
maybe like 11.
All right, guys. Well,
we got about 6 minutes in us.
Or yeah, we'll definitely get to an hour.
Last call.
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do for the next episode? We're just gonna be like, hey, go watch this YouTube video. Like, we're not gonna go over this game again, are we?
We gotta dive into the stats.
Okay.
And the post-game quotes.
Oh yeah, we need quotes.
Let's put this out there.
For sure.
Can we put this out there?
What big team will go the furthest in the tourney? Purdue.
Hold on. I was trying to put I was going to say Purdue too, so we can't place a bet on it.
Place a bet on it.
We can't if we both say Purdue. I mean, okay. I'll say Michigan.
Okay.
Loser has to score 300 points in basketball by themselves.
Live on YouTube until we get to
Yep.
500. Sounds good.
You don't think we'll be at 500 subs by the end of the tournament? F-bombs tonight. Probably at least 10.
Like here live or during the game, there's probably like 50 at his house, I would assume. I don't know. If I had to guess, at least actually, how do you watch the game like when you're by yourself? Because I feel like I'm louder when I'm not live.
I stand in front of the
Are
TV and act like a coach pretty much.
Okay.
Like I have a drink right behind me, so it's kind of like Bobby Hurley with the Diet Coke, except mine's usually some sort of sports drink. I did a lot of yelling at Dane tonight, even though he only played 4 minutes.
Why?
They're just
Dane was so good. I
hate when he gets the ball and doesn't know what he won't.
How
pass.
many times do you get the ball on offense?
Like 3 times, but he won't pass. One of them was a handoff. He won't pass. It's a problem. Cindy says, are we allowed to criticize Hawkins yet? Did I say you weren't allowed? If I said that, I guess I was wrong there. But I think you can criticize him. I just think that there's some overreact after the second game.
Yeah, you can definitely criticize him.
This is a great point by Wesley.
Or does Ethan still have a monopoly on that?
I don't know. I have
Cindy, did you hear me? Did you hear Ethan's text from earlier?
The monopoly would be a monopoly on not criticizing him, I guess, which I don't know if I said that, maybe that's a little much by me, but I do think that the overreaction thing was what I was disappointed with. A 10-2 run for Creighton to start the second half, by the way. If you don't watch a game like a coach, are you even really a fan? Great point.
I'll produce your show to get you to 500 subs starting next week.
How are you going to do that?
Yeah, you going to drive to where we are?
I mean, it can be produced from here. It can be, there's like some producer tools in here whenever you're
on StreamYard?
Yeah. Oh. Which I have access to all of it, but I'm also, on screen. So it's a little different.
You're like, hold on, guys. When we do watch parties, how much screen time does Ethan actually have? Do you guys think that it's like
it was pretty low in the Oakland game?
It's got to be under an hour.
I'm producing. Keeping everything tight, X's and O's.
You have more screen time on the halftime show than you have during the actual game.
Good point. I will go 9 for 10 at worst on Friday. If we do a watch party, which that feels like a bad idea to
you don't want to do Valpo?
We can do it. It's fine, but
we have to, right? It's a Big Ten Plus game.
Yeah, we're just hammering the.
And then you have to remind me to cancel it after the game's over.
Yeah, and then Southern on Sunday, which we said we'd do as well.
Is that on Big Ten Plus too?
No, that's Big Ten Network.
Okay, Valpo's the last Big Ten Plus game.
Yeah. Kansas up 3 now, 16-2 run the last 4.5 minutes. Sorry, spoke too soon on Kentucky. It's tied.
I gotta go watch basketball.
Reeves made a 3. It's tied.
Guys, I gotta go watch basketball.
Wesley said about 20 minutes ago that Kentucky plus 6.5 was an easy pick.
Ouch.
Kentucky's 11 for 29 from 3 with 10:30 to go. Damn.
Roger Powell game too, yeah. I mean, why is everybody excited about Roger Powell? We just had Rich McBride.
And we had
nobody said anything. Nobody cared.
We had former Illini coaching candidate after they fired Bruce Weber, Shaka Smart. Wait, was it after they fired Gross? It might have been after they fired Gross.
After Gross, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. My timeline mixed up.
Yeah, I think he actually waited a year. Then he went to Texas and sucked. And then he went to Marquette. If I remember correctly. You thought Ethan was a DD?
I don't know what that means.
Designated driver, he is. He doesn't drink.
Yeah.
But I don't know where we're at. Where were we at somewhere?
Last time I drank an alcoholic beverage was that piece of shit pool water White Claw that one night.
You didn't even drink half of it.
Yeah, I drank like a quart. It was disgusting. White Claws suck. Anybody that thinks the
High noon's to your house twice and you won't have one.
It's a recovery thing. I don't want to, just trying to
on the
keep everything
wagon?
above board. No, I meant like body recovery the next day. Like I haven't been able to feel my left foot all day, so we're gonna see what that might be a problem. But we'll address. I don't know what it is, but
Well, yeah.
all right. Last call for comments.
Questions, comments, concerns.
Thoughts on the Illini football
I'm
team?
gonna go watch basketball. Who starts Saturday?
Paddock.
I don't think he does.
Why?
Oh, you can't do A space DD. It says designated driver.
Yeah, if I have ADD, I don't know it.
He definitely doesn't.
I think there's a screw loose though somewhere.
Yeah, they have a spectrum for that.
Maui tourney preview. I might do something. I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I do like Feast Week quite a bit. And I think this is going to be a great one because this Maui field is historically good. So that could be-
Wesley, do you watch Ethan's college basketball one?
also,
He could do one on there. I'd sit there and listen. Coleman Hawkins averaging under 5 points per game and shooting under 40% so far this season. I hope he knows how to invest his NIL bag. Cindy is
it's 3 games.
ruthless.
You think he's going to be averaging under 5 points per game?
How many points did he average last year? It had to be under 10, right?
I feel like anywhere from 8 to 12 wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, under 5 wouldn't surprise me this year.
He's averaging 4.5 this year. 9.9 last year. He's just such an inefficient player at his size.
And that's the problem. Is like even when he tries to go to the basket, he can't because he's too weak. He has no power behind him.
Weak, son. He's weak. I was hoping this year with some lesser usage and putting him in different spots, he would look better, but
Maybe he should have redshirted and got bigger with Sincere.
he could have done that his first year.
Give me a break. I got sausage fingers and texting on a tiny frickin' screen.
Get a bigger screen.
Hey, impressive that you could type out frickin'.
Also,
That
you're
would
the
have
one
changed.
criticizing the commenters, not me.
That would have changed to ducking on mine.
By the
I
way,
was not. I just thought that he said that you were a designated driver. I thought you were driving us somewhere.
Creighton
Tells you where my mind's at.
Creighton is shooting 100% from the field in the second half.
Really?
7 of 7 with 6 assists. The 18-6 run to start the half. 7 for 7, 6 assists, I think, is what that said.
It said 16-4 run. But...
Yeah, but it's 18-6 because it was 43-43 at the half. This lefty for Iowa, I think it's that
Who is
guy. Ben Crick or whatever.
Crick.
Transfer from
Crikey.
he transferred somewhere
from Australia, I think.
He transferred from a Missouri Valley team, but he's dangerous. He's got like 20-something points.
Dickinson about to have 20 points, 20 rebounds.
He transferred from Valpo, actually.
My internet is not liking the.
Don't have to see this guy from Valpo. 70-70. Dickinson about to have 20.20.
We'd move this over to playback, but playback only does NBA games now, guys. Sorry.
Let me see if they have the rights to an ESPN game tonight. Nope, it's all NBA. Literally, it's just an NBA app now. Whatever. What can you do? It's sad, but
A lot. Are you surprised Iowa had stayed in it this long?
yeah. No, actually, I don't know why I said yeah.
Okay.
They can score so many points.
I know you're a big Creighton guy, so
Yeah, but Creighton. This is just two very similar teams, but Creighton's just better.
Cindy says she's just waiting. Sorry, I assumed your gender, Cindy. I'm just waiting for the season that Brad gives us a team worthy of being the number 8 highest paid coach.
2021, does that do it for you? Like,
Fair.
they have the money to make him number 8. Why not? You know, he's done well. He's done his job for the most part.
ROI. Cindy's a gambler.
I think I would look at the football program for the return on investment because the football program pretty useless.
I mean, just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean that you can build a team, guys.
I mean, look at some of the other coaches around Brad.
Illinois is just a rich institution.
They need to take
at least they didn't pay him Jimbo Fisher money. Jeez.
They need to take money out of the football program, put it in the basketball program.
I think they should just get rid of football like Marquette did.
Love it. I love that idea. Like, anybody that thinks Illinois is going to be able to compete in football, it's over.
Especially with the 4 teams coming in.
When you have an elite football school like the Oregon Ducks, that's just a problem.
I mean, usually you only had to deal with Michigan and Ohio State. Now you have every team.
Oregon, Washington, USC, UCLA. The rest of the Gavitt games, which would be the Iowa-Creighton game right now, Iowa down 6, 13 to go.
How are you doing on your prediction, by the way?
Probably not great. The Big Ten's 2-2. I think I'm actually 3-1 in my picks, though, because I had Purdue, Michigan, Wisconsin, Marquette. So 3-1. Plus I had Creighton, and Fran is super red right now. He's red as hell.
He's going to go stare somebody down.
The Georgetown-Rutgers game, I think Rutgers wins that. I think they protect home court against a bad Georgetown team. Maryland-Villanova might be time to rethink. Villanova last night losing to Penn. That was tough. But Maryland also looks awful, but you think they got to pull themselves out of it at some point. And then I think Michigan State is going to get their offense going against Butler. Michigan State's offense has been brutal. Just an awful three-point shooting team. If you think Illinois is bad, look at Michigan State. Michigan State couldn't make 11 threes in a game if they shot 70 of them. That might be a bit of an over-exaggeration. But I don't understand why Michigan State's playing in the Gavitt. Why couldn't they pick another Big Ten team to play in this when Michigan State's playing in the Champions Classic tonight? I don't get it.
Michigan State's playing in the Gavitt games too?
17th, they play Butler.
That's weird.
Couldn't have thrown
wanted to get them a win, I guess.
Couldn't have thrown Ohio State at Butler.
They knew they'd be 1-2 at this point.
Couldn't have thrown Ohio State at Butler and had Thad Matta go back to Ohio State. Would have been fun.
That would have been fun, yeah.
But, let's talk about the great impact that Dan Gavitt, or whatever his name is, had on the game, and then we're just going to not have it next year.
All right, well, this one about
Brad Underwood. You know what Brad Underwood is?
60 minutes longer than I thought it would.
Brad Underwood is a great guy.
He's
really
elite.
good.
He's an elite ummer.
He's just like they throw it over to him for his thoughts on Gavin. He's like, he's an elite guy. You talk about his impact on the game. I think that was elite.
Who's Gavitt?
President of the Big East or whatever he was.
Oh, that's right.
Dan Gavitt, I think, is his son. He's the senior vice president of basketball at the NCAA. And then his father was Dave Gavitt, the first Big East commissioner.
Jeffrey says he thinks there's a lack of quality teams this year. Do you think it's a lack of quality teams, or do you think it is more of a...
Is there a lack of quality teams?
What's that word they call it? Parity?
Yeah.
Parity.
I don't think there's I think Kentucky's good. I think Purdue is good. I think Kansas is good. I think Creighton is good. I think Arizona is good. I think Tennessee's good. I think Houston's good.
Is Marquette good?
Duke is good. I think there's Marquette. I think there's 10 or 11 really good teams, quality teams. Maybe I'm just wrong. I don't know. I think Cindy needs to realize that it doesn't always come down to tournament results, especially when you face a top 10 metric team.
So one
who
and
was on
done
the 8-9
tournament,
line.
man.
Yeah, I mean, you got to
I'm
think of the
done.
expectations here. You got to think of what they were before Underwood got here. Iowa's getting destroyed right now on the glass.
I can hear the fans going nuts.
Destroyed.
In
I mean,
Omaha.
Creighton might get 100 points. They have 74 with 10 minutes left, 11
I
minutes.
can't. 8:15 start in Omaha. Don't these people have bedtimes on Tuesday nights?
And look at that, a cool
I gotta go take my
arena
garbage out.
with a good crowd. Did we play against some elite players? Yeah, at least two. I think Marquette has 2 elite players, really elite guys. You know, Kolek, just an elite impact on the game. Cam Jones,
Cam Jones under the radar.
Shots.
I'm pretty sure he was second team All Big East preseason, super under the radar guy.
I think what Brad meant to say is he's overshadowed by Kolek, right? I mean, that had to be what he's meant to say. What he meant to say. Kolek, Big East Player of the Year last year, and Big East preseason Player of the Year this year. How about that? Where do you think this team ends up ranked end of season? I don't think I can answer that question.
I'm gonna go with outside the top 25.
Do they get dropped out of the top 25 if they destroy their next 2 opponents? They probably do anyway, just because they're lost.
Yeah, because they were at home. If they would have lost that game on the road, I don't think they would have. But I think people were already doubting them.
It also doesn't matter. Let's be honest. Who cares what the 8 people?
Illinois.
They could be right back in it if they beat FAU and Tennessee somehow, which, you know.
People saying FAU's legit.
FAU 62% from the field tonight in their beatdown of whoever they played.
Yeah, I don't know who they played, but
they haven't played anybody yet.
I had something to say, but I forgot what it was. All right, guys.
Last call.
last call. It just keeps going. I told Ethan we'll probably be done by 9:40, and it is going to be 10:40. So.
You meant 9:40 Mountain Time.
I'm going to watch the rest of this Kentucky-Kansas game, and I'm going to get in the hot tub. So.
Somebody named Nathan Durst on Twitter replied to this live tweet, said Marquette looks better than Kansas. Which I think is an easy thing to say because Kansas is still kind of figuring out who they are. Marquette's got a lot of guys back from last year. I think Marquette's entire lineup from last year I think all 5 of these guys were on Marquette's team last year. The only guy that they're missing is Omax Prosper, who I think was drafted. So they bring up Joplin into the lineup, and here they are.
I mean, is there not a good big this year that's going to cause problems for Illinois? Like, Illinois can't guard a true big.
Yeah, I think Edie's going to be a problem. They're going to need Coleman to actually step up.
I think Coleman is kind of that guy that he'll step up for that. Kind of sucks that he
didn't step up against Iguodala tonight.
He wasn't. He looked lazy the whole game until he got the defensive stop and then went down and hit the 3. Then he wasn't lazy for a second, or maybe he hit the 3 and then got the defensive stop. Either way, that was the only time during the game that he didn't look lazy, and it lasted about 30 seconds. So
I would maybe look at like how he plays against Cliff when they play them in early December at Rutgers. That'll be interesting to see.
I mean, when you're 5 plays the outside and can't create his own shot, what place does he have on the team?
I'm not ready to comment on that.
It's not a very good place. That's all I know. All right, let's wrap this up. Guys, thanks for coming out. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. We will be back on
Thursday?
Friday? Know. Probably going to play golf Thursday, and then I have pool league.
Golf.
But we could probably do it before pool league because pool league's not till 7:30. So, yeah. Probably do it Thursday. Because tomorrow's Wednesday, right? So
we're gonna have to do a Saturday or Sunday.
Definitely not doing it tomorrow.
You have to do a Saturday or Sunday pod as well. Busy week in Champaign.
Holy cow!
Yeah. We can quit if you want.
Okay. When do they play again after Valpo?
Sunday.
They play on Sunday.
And they don't play till Black Friday.
But they play like Southern, right?
Yeah.
They play Southern Sunday.
We said we were going to do a watch party for that. I think we need to cut some of
Okay.
this. We need to cut one of the things off our programming.
So I don't think we need a podcast between Valpo and Southern unless Illinois loses to Valpo.
Yeah, that's fine.
Does that sound good?
Is
And then we'll do a watch party Sunday.
Are we doing a watch party Friday too?
Sure.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
Or not. I don't care.
That's fine. That's fine.
We don't
Probably
have
what
to.
the people want. It's probably what the people want.
I think we have to for a Big Ten Plus game.
Yeah. Okay.
And then maybe we don't do one Sunday and we just do a regular podcast. I don't know. We'll figure it out, guys. We'll let you know. Follow us, turn on notifications so you know when we go live. All the good stuff.
Box score. See ya.
Hit us up on X.
Nobody calls it that. It's Twitter. I lost it.
X gonna give it to you.
He's in my chair going crazy.
Whoa, we switched sides. All right. See you later.
Do you have the